Ambassador Zarathul of the Katorian Republic clutched her communication device with trembling claws as she watched another transport full of refugees arrive at the orbital medical station. The plague had been merciless, a bioweapon unleashed by the hegemony forces that had swept through 3 star systems, leaving entire worlds gasping for breath as their respiratory systems shut down one by one. The Katorians were a proud species, their crystalline exoskeletons gleaming like living gemstones, their 4-armed forms graceful despite their towering height. But pride meant nothing when children were dying in the streets of New Katoria Prime. "Have you received any response from the Galactic Council?" asked Dr. Veltar, the station's chief medical officer, his usually melodious voice now hoarse with exhaustion. Zarathul's mandibles clicked in frustration. The same bureaucratic delays, committee reviews, resource allocation debates, feasibility studies. They estimate aid might arrive in 4 to 6 standard months. "We don't have 4 months," Dr. Veltar said quietly. "We have perhaps 3 weeks before total system collapse." That was when Communications Officer Thusera looked up from her console, her compound eyes reflecting confusion and hope in equal measure. "Ambassador, we're receiving a transmission from the Sol system. The humans are responding to our distress." Beacon. Humans, the galaxy's newest members, barely 2 decades since first contact. Most species viewed them as an oddity, neither the strongest nor the smartest, lacking the natural advantages that had made other races dominant. They were known for their medical innovations, certainly, but their military was considered primitive by galactic standards. "Put them through," Zarathul ordered. The holographic display flickered to life, revealing a human female in crisp white medical attire. Her dark hair was pulled back severely, and her brown eyes held an intensity that surprised the Katorian ambassador. "Ambassador Zarathul, I am Dr. Sarah Chen, Director of Earth's Emergency Medical Response Division. We've analyzed your distress signal and the biological data you transmitted. We can help." "Dr. Chen," Zarathul began carefully, "while we appreciate your offer, this plague has stumped our best xenobiologists. The hegemony designed it specifically to target Katorian physiology." "We've already synthesized a cure," Dr. Chen interrupted smoothly. "Our computational biology systems identified 17 potential treatments within 6 hours of receiving your data. We've tested the most promising on synthetic Katorian tissue samples, and the results are excellent." Dr. Veltar's secondary arms twitched in disbelief. "That's impossible. We've been working on this for months." Dr. Veltar, the human, continued, somehow knowing exactly who she was addressing. "Your research was thorough but constrained by available resources. We have advantages you lack, but more importantly, we have something else. We don't accept impossible when lives are at stake." Zarathul felt the first flutter of hope she'd experienced in weeks. "What do you need from us?" "Nothing except coordinates and permission to enter your space. The UES Hippocrates departed Earth 12 hours ago with medical supplies, temporary habitat modules, and a full trauma response team. The UES Asclepius launched 6 hours later with additional resources and research personnel." "2 medical ships?" Dr. Veltar asked. Dr. Chen's expression shifted slightly, and Zarathul caught something in her eyes, a hardness that didn't belong on a healer's face. "Not exactly. The Hippocrates is our premier hospital ship, yes, but she's traveling with the UES Thunderchild, one of our new Aegis-class battleships." The medical station's bridge fell silent. Zarathul's translator must have malfunctioned. "I'm sorry, did you say a battleship?" "The Thunderchild and her escort fleet," Dr. Chen confirmed. "We learned about the hegemony's attacks on medical facilities in the Vega sector. That won't be happening to our people or yours. The Hippocrates will be delivering aid under the protection of the Sol Defense Navy." "But," Zarathul stammered, "the Galactic Accords clearly state that medical missions must be unarmed." "The Galactic Accords," Dr. Chen said with a smile that held no warmth, "were written by species who apparently believe that neutrality And good intentions are sufficient protection for doctors and patients. Humans have a different philosophy. Dr. Veltar leaned forward. Which is? We protect our healers, always. And when we commit to saving lives, we commit absolutely. The Thunderchild carries enough firepower to sterilize a small moon. Her escort includes 2 heavy cruisers and a full squadron of fighters. The hegemony will not interfere with this medical mission. Ambassador Zarathul felt her legs give way slightly, forcing her to grip the console for support. The humans weren't just offering aid. They were willing to fight anyone who tried to stop them from providing it. Dr. Chen, she managed, your government approved this? The human's smile became genuine for the first time. Ambassador, you clearly haven't spent much time studying human psychology. When our children are threatened, and make no mistake, every patient becomes our responsibility. We don't ask permission to save them. The Seoul Defense Navy considers medical interventions to be matters of species survival. The Thunderchild's captain has standing orders to treat any interference with humanitarian missions as acts of war. Estimated arrival? Dr. Veltar asked quietly. 18 hours. The Hippocrates is already carrying enough synthesized treatment to handle your current caseload, plus emergency supplies for any complications. Dr. Yamamoto and her team are prepared to implement immediate treatment protocols upon arrival. Zarathul felt tears forming in her primary eyes. Dr. Chen, our people will remember this debt. No debt, the human interrupted firmly. This is what neighbors do. But Ambassador, you should know, once we commit to helping, we don't leave until the job is finished. The hegemony has been using biological weapons against civilian populations. That ends now. The transmission closed, leaving the Katorian medical team staring at the empty display in stunned silence. Dr. Veltar was the first to speak. Did she just declare war on the hegemony? Ambassador Zarathul's mandibles clicked in what her species considered a laugh. No, Doctor. I think she just declared peace. And apparently, the humans enforced their peace with battleships. 18. Hours later, when the combined human fleet dropped out of hyperspace in perfect formation around the pristine white medical ship, every species in 3 systems learned the same lesson. When humans offer to help, they mean it. And they come prepared to make sure their help reaches its destination. The plague was eradicated within 72 hours. The hegemony's bioweapon program was terminated permanently 3 days after that, when the Thunderchild paid an educational visit to their primary research facility. Some lessons the galaxy learned are best taught by humans.